It's v.h.s.x. What do you mean?
Alright everybody, welcome back. We got another video that was suggested by one of you guys in the Discord community. So shout out to, I believe this was, if I can find the post. Shout out to Dimitri for suggesting this. This one's a Twitter thread that was created by FieldAgentReaper. And as you can imagine, we had to bring out the Brain Alive machine so that we're actually prepared and have a defense against the absolute brain rot that Twitter has to offer. Now, obviously on the Twitter, usually on the side it will show you the description of who FieldAgentReaper is, but usually known as like the Cenobite guy, like knows all of the Cenobite stuff, like pretty much mains them, P100, whatever the kind of stuff. Usually, if you think of a pinhead main, this is who you pretty much will think of. So, the post says, nothing is more unfun than automatically losing a game because one of these perks was activated. Deliverance nerf is nowhere near enough, and shoulder needs to be fully reworked and not include hook stages at all. Okay? And right off the bat, I mean, well said. It's been stated before, I've talked about it plenty of times. I've said that these two perks needed to get nerfs a long time ago. It is a long time coming. We finally just like ended up getting a vigil change, which is something. Because that does contribute to the many second chance perks. But the closest thing we got to anything for, say, Deliverance or Shoulder, like, was nothing for Shoulder, and in Deliverance you get slightly keyword, slightly more broken status effect. That's about it. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move aside the machine so we can have our copium ready, because there's gonna be a lot here that we're gonna have to sift through. So first and foremost, the very top, they have a survivor main saying, quote, killer mains always complaining when they can't tunnel people and have to actually play well and monitor gens instead of the game winning itself because of their perks. Now, anybody who's even played killer for more than 1 hour will understand that this is pure and unadulterated bull, because it goes without saying that no, that is completely and utterly inaccurate. That does not actually happen. That is not actually the case. That is not even remotely accurate in any sense of the word, right? Because we have to understand that playing well is utilizing strategy. Playing well is understanding who you're facing and being able to micromanage 4 different players. So by definition, you're just blatantly saying, like, you know, it's a I don't know how to describe that, but it's basically it's contradicting is what I'm trying to get at. But on top of that, the irony of it comes into play when you remember that survivors are completely carried by those second chance perks that have no input from the player. Keep in mind that like the strongest perks in the game are the most passive perks in the game. They don't require effort from the player, and that's the difference between killer meta and survivor meta. Is like survivor meta is full passives. You think about vigil, you think about decisive, you think about dead hard. All these perks are being activated from just you doing nothing. Like, you're getting the perk activations from being either losing badly, dying, whatever the case may be. Inevitably you just lose, right? And you get bonus after bonus after bonus. Then when you look at killer meta, right, so like usually slowdowns, they require you to down people. They require you to put in the effort to actually go through the process of getting 2 hits, then downing, then hooking, then it decides to activate. Getting 2 hits, then the down in the right range, and then it does the damage. Okay, then you have to get the kick off on the correct gen, down them fast enough so they don't pop the gen before you get over there and finish it. Get another 10%, which can be instantly repaired in half of a second. So, and you can guess what those perks are. So the irony is there. The irony is hilarious. We already know that. So FieldAgentReaper responded and said, Survivor mains always complain when they can't get 50-second chances and actually play well and have to loop instead of the game winning itself because of their perks. Which I gotta love the response from that, because that's what they do, that's what they need. Like, they clearly need to be told the same bullshit back to them in a different way, because there's no reason to put any more effort than that when they themselves don't put any effort into using their brains. So it's like, why should we? You know what I mean, in that sense. And it doesn't really seem like there's any responses from that. So then this person says that I just avoid hooking altogether by using the twins. And the sad part is that even within the image, you'll notice that there's 1, 2, 3 unbreakables. There's a decisive in there, so at least he was able to avoid that. The Shoulder the Burden is there, which is another one he was able to avoid. So 2 shoulders. No, not even. Hold on, hold on. We have 3 Shoulder the Burdens, 3 unbreakables. My goodness. 3 lives, and it looks like there's a windows of opportunity in there, so another passive perk, unbreakable, passive perk, decisive strike, passive perk, 5 moves ahead, passive perk. So live, pretty much a passive perk. You just vault something, that's it. Doesn't matter if you vault it like medium or fast, you still get it. So notice, like, this is all meta, and notice how the requirements are vastly different, right? And some people will say, oh, but the twins there was running passives as well. And it's like, yeah, but they're not very good passives. Like, Ruin is destroyed instantly, even with Thrill, which are nerfing. Undying as well, same thing. Like, you just have to hope that the spawns are good. Which means, at the end of the day, it's out of your hands. It's out of your control. In a negative way. You have no way to be able to control if the game decides to give you a bad spawn or not. It's just out of your hands at that point, and you have to hope that you get the value. So even so, and then Field Agent responds and says, I played a game of twins yesterday when I tried to start slugging after having bad early game, and it worked till I realized they had 3 We Are Gonna Live Forevers. Couldn't slug anymore. That perk killed slugging strats. It does. It does. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So another person says, Deli nerf essentially misses the point of Deliverance being a strong perk. It's essentially free right now, with safe unhooks being free, slightly nerfed with base kit BT nerfs. Instead, the safe unhook mechanic should revolve around having neither the rescuer or rescued take hits. I've been saying that since day one. Like, we needed to have a change that will directly alter what the effect is, because the effect in itself is powerful. The effect in itself is the problem. That's what we've been trying to say for as long as we have. It's impossible to counter stuff like this, right? Because, mind you, Deliverance is another example. It's just a passive that you're just getting that you can pop, right? It's less passive than Decisive, Dead Hard, Unbreakable, yada yada yada, but it still within itself has strength that other perks in the game just are not able to counter. Like, there really is not a perk to counter that. You just cannot hook in the first place. Like, that's at the end of the day, like, you have no other choice. And the flawed logic that Survivor players are engaging in is the fact that they say, oh, but you keep slugging, so that's why we're bringing these perks. And it's like, yeah, because the first perks you brought were also broken. So, like, we're trying to avoid the one, but then you still have the backup. So, like, it doesn't really matter what a killer does. Because keep in mind that within Deliverance, within, Shoulder the Burden, we're trying to counter these two because of its effects. Like, they're incredibly strong as it is. But then by countering those things, now we have to face the We're Gonna Live Forevers, the Made for This, the this, that, and the third. So, like, no matter how you slice it, you still have to, like, trudge through sludge just so you can actually get close to a kill, for crying out loud. So this person says, of course, because, mind you, you always have to have somebody that's going to try to, like, rage bait and try to gaslight, yada yada yada. So classic, we already have it, we already see it. So this person says, Shoulder isn't even an overly strong perk, I'm lost. So if you're saying you're lost, that means that you're the dumbass that doesn't have that has that gap in knowledge. Do your fucking research. You know what I mean? So not only do you start off with a statement that doesn't make sense, right? That's purely just based off of your uninformed opinion. Uninformed opinion. Now you're gonna say, "Oh, everybody's wrong." It's like you being wrong and then being a dumbass doesn't mean everyone's gonna be wrong and be a dumbass like you. Like the rest of us people actually do our fucking research, actually have seen the perk in action. We know like everybody knows what they're talking about when they say, "Yo, this perk is crazy, dog." Like I remember playing when the perk first released. Got a Swift. Had one hook, it was swapped over to somebody else, and then I go to hook this other person. Another person took the hook. By the time it was 2 gens, everyone was one hook. I'm like, well, I can't kill anyone. It's by the time we can, and it was on Garden of Joy. So by the time we're hooking the next person, which I think I was playing Ghostface, I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get a kill at this point. Takes 3 hooks, they have 2 gens to go. Like, come on, bro. So, FieldAgentReaper, of course, got the W response. Says, bro's not even rage baiting with a blue check mark for money, just doing it for the love of the game. That's the crazy part. That's what they do. Like, these people are so blindingly dumb. Like, they will continue to do this shit for free. Like, they're not even getting anything in return. They just love to rage bait. Like, it makes no sense. So, he wants to say he doesn't cry for perks. And then bro responded and said that it wasn't as convincing, need to work more at it. See why he didn't play for the check mark. Your follow-up is weak. Oh my god. So we have another one that says, I'm so lost. I think you're trying to be funny or something. You're failing miserably. Keep blaming sucking on 2 perks. I mean, so bro doesn't have a rebuttal, so he just makes up some nonsense that has no meaning, and I agree with Agent Reaper here, because he says, you ain't quite ready for the blue check mark. But I would suggest is make a second alt account, because this one's not as good enough at rage baiting quite yet. You need to get a fresh start. Still working on your English, because what you type just wasn't. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yo, it's insane. I have to agree with FieldAgentReaper on that, man. Like, these morons are, like, genuinely believing in their minds they're right, but they have no follow-up, there's no evidence. They like to pretend like every single perk on Survivor is weak now. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, just because you are too dumb to know how to use the perk correctly does not magically make the perk weak now. Like, it's weak when you use it because you're ass, but when people with intelligence actually decide to use these perks, they actually are a threat. They're actually causing people to literally lose whole games because it gets used. It's just how it is. So Dimitri arrives and he says, these perks plus many others made me just start hard slugging. They are insanely strong. Hooking is just the downside. Matches also feel way more fair because when I lose, it wasn't because of strong perks. Survivors are just better than me. Which is a good point. So this person, another rage baiter, wants to say that we're crying about this when you can just not tunnel is crazy. Tell me you're a survivor, man, without telling me you're a survivor, man. Like, these people operate off of ignorance and idiotic statements and stupidity. Like, how do you just, like, just don't use your strategies. I'm like, okay, like, then why, like, doesn't that apply also to the other side? Like, if you want to win games, maybe I don't get it. Like, you don't have to run those perks either. You know what I mean? You don't have to run sprint burst, dead hard. You don't have to, like, emote under pallets. You don't have to run to edges of the map to win games, but they do it anyway. It's just really interesting to me. I just don't get it, right? Because if it wasn't strong, then why would they bring it? I don't get it. It's a very backwards logic. It's like, what do you mean? And then this other person makes a really good suggestion. They say that you should make shoulder the burden and invocation when you gotta fully complete it, to be able to use it and become broken for the rest of the trial. That's a good point. This person says, I'm playing in low elo DBD and I have no idea why shoulders OP, like, give myself a hook. Why is everyone saying it's strong? And I have to once again say, do the freaking research or listen to what the hell people are saying. The crazy part is that like everybody can explain it in every way possible. Everyone has their way of explaining it, and it always like boils down to the same conclusion. If you somehow still cannot understand that, I don't know what to tell you, because everybody explains it. They constantly say this. But I'm gonna have to do it again because apparently it doesn't get through people's heads. Anyway, so the reason why Sword of the Burden is so incredibly broken is the mere fact that it completely removes all pressure, which I made a video about this already. We can have that link somewhere. It removes all pressure from the killer with the press of a button. The hook states are one of the most important things in this game for a killer player because of the fact that, besides obviously just not hooking at all, the way to get somebody out of the game is to hook, right? I mean, the fact that I have to explain this to such a degree is insanity, but let's get in, but whatever. You have to hook 3 times to kill one person. There are 4 players each. If I'm trying to kill somebody, gens are going bing, bing, bing everywhere I go, and I only got a few hooks, right? Probably, I'm gonna have to kill somebody, and like I just said, you have to kill with how many? 3 hooks. Right? So if I'm going around and I'm like, yo, one person's almost dead, I just have to kill this guy. I got him on second, or I'm about to get them on second. One more time, I could just kill them. Boom, I can start getting some more pressure going. I can ease a little bit of some of the stress. We might be able to get at least 2 out of this. Maybe 3 if we're lucky. Then you hear the click of the hook swap, and you're like, well, there it goes. I'm like, the one person you didn't hook yet, or whatever the case may be, now has the hook. So now you're at what, 2 gens left, 1 gen left, and now no one's gonna die now because there's no more hook states. And you already know that well, I guess they don't know because they don't pay attention, but gens are gonna be flying. Gens are going to be flying, and they already have been flying. There's little to no time to waste. So if we're sitting around losing a death, basically, because Shoulder of the Burden basically removes death entirely from players at that point. Because if a player doesn't have any hook states and will take a hook state off of somebody who's about to die, because they could be on hook with 2, they remove it, now that person's not going to die anymore. Now you have to hook them twice, if not 3 times more. And if they are smart enough to be able to kind of micromanage who you hook and who you don't, and swap the hooks around, in combination with the fact that Decisive always gets used, the fact that Dead Hard always gets used, Unbreakable, whatever the case may be, Deliverance, all of those things just remove all the pressure within just the press of a single button. And I still don't know why that's not hard. Like, this is so difficult to understand. I don't. If the entire objective is I have to hook one person 3 fucking times to kill them, and then they have to do 5 gens uncontested, don't you think it's about timing? Like, don't you think I would have to, I don't know, work around that? It's mind-blowing. So anyway, so this person right here has shown over 3 different screenshots of the different builds. Now, to be fair, like the builds they were using are not the greatest, obviously, but they are using their mains, right? They have Knight and also P100, Vecna, and Dredge. I guess you can say the Lich in this case. And this one was a slug, not a slug, what do you call it? A backpack build with Dredge, I guess for fun. And we also have one with Lich that seems like relatively good, you know, good passives. And then we have one with the Knight as well, though, which you kind of need to slow down for because he's very bad as a killer. And notice we're seeing Shoulder of the Burden 1, 2. We're seeing Decisive 1, 2 right there. And then Dead Hard 1, 2 as well. So that's already like numerous second chances, Reassurance, an additional second chance, Resurgence, an additional second chance, We're Gonna Live Forever, an additional second chance. and the overtuned will make it, stuff like that. Just from the one on the right alone, decisive again, sprint burst again, resurgence again, decisive, made for this. Look at this, deja vu, unbreakable, shoulder, dead hard, resurgence, made for this. That like deja vu, like every meta perk you've seen under the sun. Again, look at it. Decisive and plot twist, another broken combination I've mentioned to you guys before. It's very disgusting. Decisive, dead hard, dead hard, unbreakable, made for this again, like finesse, deliverance again, like brother. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Another person says, genuinely, how is Shoulder the Burden considered so overpowered as a killer player? I've never seen this perk used effectively once. If you haven't seen it get used effectively once, that means you either are not going against players that are using the perk like with actual intelligence, or B, you're not in an MMR level that you are facing smart enough players, and that's okay. But the difference is how you decide to go forward with that information. If you realize, like, yo, I'm not informed about this, maybe do your research and see how it's done. Listen to what people are talking about. And maybe move with some level of I don't know if the word is humbleness, but, like, you have to be self-aware to understand that you are uninformed. Like, what is so hard to understand about that? You're not informed. It doesn't mean that magically your opinion is important and matters now. What you should be doing is forming an opinion by doing the fucking research and Googling this shit. Going like, hey, like, Shoulder the Burden, why is it, like, you know, why is it so strong? Listen to videos, watch examples. Like, there are ways to find this information. But if you're choosing to not do that and just go, oh, I don't know, and then just run away, like, then you're just as dumb as the other people. Like, you're not paying it, you're not trying to form an opinion. So anyway, so they say nothing is more fun than a fan base, so never stop complaining no matter what. I've never had an issue with these perks as killer, never seen them get too powerful. As a survivor, they come in clutch, but not like by much. They just go down the survivor again. Like I keep saying, they try to gaslight you. They try to make up narratives. You're literally a survivor player. So how could you ever have known what the perk could do? You said you never had an issue, but you're literally saying the most nonsensical statements. Oh, just down them again. I'm like, okay, with what? They're off hook with their off hook perks. These people, as you can even see with the examples in these screenshots, right? These people bring shoulder with decisive. They bring deliverance with decisive. They bring dead hard with shoulder and decisive. What do you mean? Oh, just on him again. I'm like, so then you pick them up to just get stunned again. So what are you talking about? Come on now. It's like, what are you talking about? But that's how you know they don't play the goddamn game. Let's look at it again. Oh, okay, let's say that Lisa unhooked Cheryl. What does she have? Unbreakable. She has Lithe, fully recharged. Let's say that they used it on who's here? Let's say this Cheryl used it on Lisa. Oh, resurgence. They fly away with full health. Just down them again, right? Oh, okay. Same thing with Cheryl. Decisive. So say that Lisa used it on Cheryl. Decisive resurgence. She would have been full health already and decisive to get stunned again. Same thing here. Resurgence, decisive, dead hard. Multiple perks ready to pop if they get shouldered. Quentin again. Look at that. Decisive, ready to pop. So, like, no, you don't just down him again. Like, you're an idiot. Like, I hate to say it, dog. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. There's too many examples here. Like, dude, open your eyes. I agree with this too. They say Deli needs perma broken, shoulder should injure, give 2-minute broken, and work only on double hooks. I agree with that. I agree with that. Bro, look at another survivor main slap. Oh, just monitor the gens. You don't know anything about monitoring gens. You don't know anything about map control. You don't know anything about pathing. You don't know anything about using a killer power, what maps work on what killer. You don't know anything about the game. Look at it, bro. What? It's a hook. What are you talking about? The hook's value is not determined by the hook itself. It's determined by who is being hooked in the first place and how many they continue to rack up. One person getting a hook activates multiple different perks that provide numerous amounts of value. But it just goes to show that it's so low IQ within this community, because it's like, how do you not realize that hooks in themselves provide survivors value? Like, you're already activating multiple perks that protect you, on top of the endurance and haste, on top of the pallet density. Like, how low IQ could you possibly become? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And what's even more hilarious, they go, it just transfer the hook over. Like, yeah, that's what the perk does. Now you only have to hook the perk holder one more time. I'm like, yeah, but you're giving both of them bonuses. The person that is unhooking more than likely doesn't have hooks. Even if you did hook them, you're still switching the hook around, which means you're still wasting additional time. Because by removing the person from death hook, now you're having to do a full reset from the start. And when we're dealing with a game where you can't reverse the gen progression all the way back to 0, the same way that survivors can reverse all your pressure in a single press of a button. Because regression is not that strong. Regression doesn't make you restart a gen from 99 to 0. Like that, there's just no regression that can do that. But Shoulder the Burden, Dead Hard, Decisives, whatever the case may be, literally buys additional time for the survivor players to continue to do the objective. By you not downing means less people have to leave the gens to go for the objective. It's like, I don't understand how the DBD community can be so idiotic in this way that they don't even understand what the value of a hook is. Like, Christ almighty, like, how low IQ are these people playing with a blindfold on all day? Like, how do people play this game for so many hours and know nothing? It's crazy to me. This person makes a good point. They're like, saying all that will kick you out of the creator program. Don't you dare talk about balancing and survivor nerves while the killer girl right now is at its worst state since pre 6.1.0. It's insane, bro. But Deli is such a high risk, high reward though. But that's the thing. It's not that hard to not just hide. Like people really pretend like because they can't use. It's just mind-blowing to me that because they can't use it, therefore the perk is weak. It's like, your ass, dog. Pair Deli with distortion, self-pres, and you can get the unhook, not get found at the start easily, not get found in general, and be able to unhook yourself. Same goes with shoulder. You can essentially be a ghost that prevents tunneling without ever being in danger. At least somebody said it. At least this person is self-aware, because they say, is my MMR not high enough to see these issues at all? Yeah, it isn't. I say nerf dead hard too. Deli, I don't see that much of a problem, but now shoulder is really the plague of the century. It really is. Look, look, one of those survivor main LARPers. Because they go, wow, I've been in Eerie 1 killer for years. My brother in Christ. Dog, big dog, low bro, Sunyan, whatever you prefer. How many times do we have to tell your dumb ass that the grade does not mean any fucking thing in this goddamn game? How many fucking times have we said, how my god, how many times are we gonna tell these freaking, oh my god, dumbasses, the grades do not affect your matchmaking. What the hell? Buddy, you're playing matches, you're getting your pips off of free matches because your MMR ain't high. Of course you're gonna get your pips, come on, buddy. It's not that hard to get pips in the game. What? It's like ridiculous, man. And then look at this another one. They have, I don't get why you're bitching about shoulder. All it does is transfer hooks to another person. You still have the same number of hooks. Now, if it made you lose a hook, then that's a problem. Just tunnel one with shoulder. You're an idiot. I have to keep saying it. I'm sorry, you're an idiot. Because, like, it's really mind-blowing to me that they don't understand this fucking game. That's like me, it's like if there was a perk existed that removed the gen out of the rotation, in the sense that, like, say you had 3 gens done, and there was a perk that just removed the entire gen from what, like, was already 100% completed, already done. If I had a perk that were just to, oh, I don't know, reset that gen and make it 0 again and be like, hey, do it all over again. And then I could say, let's say it was called, like, I don't know. Let's say return the favor, right? I don't know why you're bitching about favor. All it does is transfer the gen progression and make you have to do a full gen again. You still have the same number of gens to do. Now, if it made you lose more gen progression on other gens, that's the problem. Just tunnel the one gen. You know what I mean? It's like, but because they're so dumb, like, they're just so focused on, oh, but it's a hook. It's like, the hook in itself is not the value. It's what it applies. It's like, dog. This person says, the more I see DBD drama, the more I realize how progressively unfunny direction that DBD's going. I don't know, yo, no disrespect to yes, disrespect indeed, actually. But how long is it taking you to realize that? Like, bro, I'm losing my freaking mind. I don't know how people are taking this long to realize the game is not good. Like, I don't understand. Like, why? Like, what is wrong with people, man? It's ridiculous. But this is the DBD community in a nutshell right here, man. This is the DBD community in a nutshell. Like, they never want to think critically. They don't want to use their brains. They don't want to sit there and actually think. But they'll constantly berate somebody for having a valid opinion with evidence. Like, this is a pretty good post, bro. Now, obviously, we don't have, like, you know, like a video clip or something to show its value or whatever have you, but then again, they would never watch it regardless, because they just like to cope and lose their minds. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, okay, this is the DBD community in a nutshell. They're uninformed, ignorant, dumb asses that go around on different social media spouting out additional dumb assery when you have people like FieldAgentReaper that are bringing up very extremely valid points that is supported by evidence, and they're so blatantly idiotic to me. Like, I can't even fathom trying to explain it in a different way, because, like, okay, let me get out of here, man. Like, clearly these posts are only here to rage bait us. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Of course, check out the other channels. Check out my main channel where I talk about, like, different gaming topics. Check out my rivals channel where I've been putting up some content on that as well. Been loving the game, of course, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, we're gonna shout out all the members. So shout out Patreon Crow Vader. So we have Evil Blade 17, Lord Whip with an F there, and then 6540. We have Razmakai, Cozy with Brando, Cap Courteous as well. We got Kargan Falcon, Dole Whip, Noxus, Zero Mocker, Christian, and Crow Vader. Appreciate you guys, man. And if you want your name read off at the end of every video, of course, consider becoming a member on this channel. You know, it could be the badge or I'm a member now tier. Either one works, and you get exclusive perks and content. So check it out, man. Appreciate you guys, man. It means a lot. We'll see you guys in the next one, man.